What's going on, YouTubeites? This is your man T-Bo. Welcome to Lords of the Long Box, coming in on you on a Saturday afternoon. This is kind of last minute kind of thing. I got this last night from my man Mikey Sutton. It's basically in regard to a scoop that he did a couple weeks ago in regards to some Hasbro franchises, and we're able to get some more information. So I got a list of characters that are being developed for the Hasbro Cinematic Universe. I guess we'll call it HCU, since everybody loves a cool acronym. But before we get started, let's get some DJ Curse kicking off.
Legends of the universe. Their mission, to fight injustice, to right that which is wrong, and to serve all mankind.
Now that's a name I've not heard.
Laugh it up, fuzzball. In this, you shall know that the Lord is update.
Shake and bake and pull it back.
In this, you shall know that the Lord is update. In this, you shall know that the Lord is update.
Go on and get some, boys. What the heck is the deal? I'm the best there is.
In this, you shall know that the Lord is update.
What's in the box?
Like a spider monkey.
What's going on, YouTubeites? Welcome to Lords of the Long Box. I am just getting myself situated. I appreciate all you guys for coming and hanging out with your boy TiVo. Shout out to Red Lodge Crow and Sith Lord holding it down in the tailgating on a Saturday. I know there's I don't know if there's a lot of stuff you guys could be doing, but shout out to all you guys who could join us. Once again, this is Lords of the Long Box. The show is sponsored by our friends over at Rocket Comics. Go to rocketcomics.com. Use discount code of LOTLB. Just tell them the Lord sent you. You get 20% off your first pressing order. Also, our friends over at the geekyswagshop.com. Tell them to use the discount code LOTLB. Get 15 or 10% off these t-shirts and gaiters. Pretty sure the hoodies are going on sale pretty soon, since it's going to become winter, I think. Also, the show is sponsored by KairosComics.com. Go to KairosComics.com. Use discount code of LOTLB to get 15% off anything into Kairos Comics. They got some dope exclusives coming out, including, I do believe, Batman 100 they're coming out with. That looks pretty darn dope. Also, our friends at Comics, Tunes, and Toys will be soon doing a Comic Tunes and Toys sale that we always do. This is basically and what I'm going to do is I'm going to read what I got from my man Mikey in regard to G.I. Joe and Transformers. Essentially, he dropped this scoop on the Geekosity Mag website, and I'll drop it in there for you as well. But I'm going to read off it too to give you some context on where this is coming from, why I think this is important. Because I don't know if you noticed, but people buying a lot of comics nowadays that are not just comic book properties. If you notice that, a lot of crazy Star Wars specs. Some are dead on, like Thrawn, Ahsoka Tano, and Sabine Wren that we know are coming, but some are going like, way outside with EU characters. So it dawned on me that all the characters, or most of them, that are being developed by Hasbro have comic book properties at one point. So I got a list from Mikey Sutton. I thought, you know what, this would be interesting. And luckily for you, these comics are pretty well known, or there's only a few of them, be it even though there's like 15 characters on this long-term spec list. First, let me read the scoop that Mikey Sutton did on geekositymag.com. I'm just going to read it verbatim off the website. Paramount Pictures has been attempting to recreate beloved playsets of the 80s kids since Michael Bay's Transformers in 2007. Once worldwide billion-dollar box office juggernauts, the Transformers record of critics' failing grades and fan backlash, especially among the older generation who grew up with the original cartoons and toys, gradually eroded with the movie's popularity. The 2018 Bumblebee brought back the heart and sense of wonder missing from Michael Bay's mindlessly explosive adventures, but G.I. Joe still hadn't gained its Generation X sheen. That could change very soon with the upcoming Snake Eyes movie starring Harry Golding. Hasbro has been in a will they won't mood with their IP since 2014 in regards to a cinematic universe. These would include not just Transformers and G.I. Joe, but among others, Micronauts, Power Rangers, and Rom the Space Knight. It's difficult. It may seem effortless from a producing wizard like Kevin Feige of Marvel Studios, but juggling all these several blockbusters as a cohesive unit is a tough nut to crack for its competitors. According to inside sources, plans are again moving forward for Hasbro to expand its theatrical toy box after Snake Eyes. One crossover that's been in limbo for years and crawling back to life is G.I. Joe and the Transformers. It was in the pages of the Marvel Comics in the 80s when these animated favorites met and clashed. Discussions for a live-action version, not necessarily a direct adaptation of the comic book, which there have been several since then from other publishers like IDW, haven't led to the movie being greenlit. It certainly didn't help that Michael Bay was reportedly against the idea of doing a Transformers and G.I. Joe flick. But that will change real soon. Such a meeting would provide both series with a heavy shot in the arm if executed well, not to mention a boost in toy sales. And we all know the G.I. Joes and Transformers, that's their bread and butter. But if there's such a thing as a toy store, or if you go to Target, the G.I. Joes and Transformer toys aren't nearly as pervasive as they used to be as when we were kids, right? One of those related IPs will begin to meet, eventually leading to an infinity war of action figure collaborations. But it all depends on how successful Snake Eyes will be. And if it clicks, will there be more than meets the eye in the immediate future? So there you go. Everybody wants a cinematic universe. Marvel kind of set the gold standard, if you will. Universal tried a movie monster universe, failed spectacularly. DC tried, and they're still going, but they've kind of done their own thing. Pacific Rim did a little bit of it. You are going to see a Godzilla versus King Kong film, so you kind of see where all these franchises are heading towards. So, excuse me, I got a list of characters, and they're pretty obvious what you should be looking for. But if not, there's one surprise that's in here when I got the list from Mikey. Mikey gave me a list of characters that are being developed for the upcoming Transformers G.I. Joe film. So, as we like to do, let's get right to it, boys and girls. So, first off is the appearance of the Transformers that they plan on using in the new iteration of the Transformers film. I guess you can call it a reboot or 2.0 or 3.0 at this point. If you think of Bay's original Transformers as maybe version 1 and then Bumblebee maybe version 2, and then they're going to reboot it all together. This is the list of characters that we got that are coming in that they have reserved for use in the upcoming Transformers G.I. Joe film. Shockwave, Optimus Prime, Megatron. This one's interesting, actually, because there's a Bumblebee Goldbug is for old school Transformers fans will know the difference between Bumblebee and Goldbug. All these characters' first appearance is in Transformers #1. This gorgeous Bill Sienkiewicz variant here. I don't believe Shockwave is on that, by the way, but it is. These are the 4 characters that have been used that are going to be in a Transformers movie. That Transformers comic is absolutely gorgeous. That's the cover work of Bill Sienkiewicz. This was a miniseries. Remember in the mid 80s, Marvel had a ton of licensed properties for toys and movies and cartoons and all kinds of stuff they made comics of. And the way people seem to be collecting nowadays, I'm telling you this now because I think it's inevitable. In the past, it hasn't really popped, but the way Star Wars stuff is happening And if they do end up building a cinematic universe, you never know. Bloodshot kind of went and failed when trying to build a cinematic universe, but I think Hasbro has the studios behind it, and it not only has nostalgia from a toy collecting perspective, but the animated series perspective. All of us are older who grew up on the cartoons and now hopefully have disposable income. This is the other issue I was talking about. In the 4th issue of the Transformers miniseries, issue number 4 is actually the first appearance of Shockwave. So Transformers number 1 is the first appearance of Optimus Prime, Megatron, and Bumblebee. And Transformers number 4 is the first appearance of Shockwave. I got noticed that all 4 of those characters are going to be in the, I guess you can call, I don't know if it's called G.I. Joe versus Transformers or G.I. Joe and Transformers, but they want to make a film with both properties involved. Now that Michael Bay is kind of out of the decision-making process as far as the movies are, they can definitely make this happen. Next up on the list is the list of G.I. Joe characters that have been reserved. Now, obviously, we already know Snake Eyes is coming with the guy from Crazy Rich Asians, and also the rumors that there's a Storm Shadow is going to make an appearance in there as well. But these are the other characters that we got a hold of that are going to be developed for this G.I. Joe / Transformers project. So you got Cobra Commander, Stalker, which was an interesting one to me, Hawk, Snake Eyes, Short Fuse, Scarlet, and Storm Shadow, all of whom appear in G.I. Joe, the Real American Hero, number 1. Obviously, all these comic book first appearances are done in the Marvel realm, and these issues, especially G.I. Joe, it ran for quite a few issues, and there's tons of first appearances in it. So just like you guys are specking Star Wars right now, and every single little character you find in extended universe, just start picking through all these early Transformers and G.I. Joe series and look for any first appearances, because they're going to run with that. Remember, Marvel or Disney no longer owns any type of rights to G.I. Joe. IDW has the comic book rights, and the movie rights belong to Hasbro, so Hasbro can do whatever they want with it. So, but this has always been a great book. When G.I. Joe, the comic, first came out, it was absolutely hot. And I guess I'm trying to allude to it with the second graphic here, that the first appearance of Storm Shadow is actually G.I. Joe number 21. That is, obviously, that is the silent issue. Everybody knows that is one of the best comics ever written that had no line of dialogue whatsoever, and it was the first appearance of Storm Shadow. So think of G.I. Joe number 1, G.I. Joe number 21, Transformers 1, Transformers number 4. And those are the books I would be looking out for. Next up is I want to read the second part of this scoop, which is really interesting to me. And this is a scoop that was dropped yesterday. So this is brand new. So this is from our man, Mikey Sutton. G.I. Joe and Transformers won't be the only 80s animated properties developing in the live action films, scooped from Mikey on September 5th, the article I just read. According to the same sources, M.A.S.K. is being discussed to make their live action debut in that same film. The Mobile Armored Strike Command was a Kenner toy line and syndicated TV cartoon. Among its writers was Chuck Lorre, co-creator of The Big Bang Theory in 1985. For a series that was basically a hybrid of G.I. Joes and Transformers, it's fitting that they make their first cinematic appearance in a movie with both of them. That's it. That's right. M.A.S.K. They're putting M.A.S.K. in with G.I. Joe and Transformers. I don't know how they're going to do it, but they want to go big. This is obviously a cheap book if you can find it. This is actually a DC book. Very rare to find a DC and a Marvel Comics both in the same long-term spec list, but M.A.S.K. number 1, the first appearance of Matt Tracker and M.A.S.K., the Mobile Armored Strike Command Force, whatever it's called. But I really do remember I don't think M.A.S.K. was a Saturday morning cartoon. I think it was one of those after school cartoons. Like when I was a kid, right around like 5th, 6th grade, it was after school, we'd come home. That's when we see like G.I. Joe, Transformers. Where I grew up in the Bay Area, they used to show Robotech on at like 3 p.m. when we got home from school. So we'd like throw our homework to the side and we just wanted to watch Robotech. And then was that Space Battleship Yamato, but it's called Star Blazers. Macross was pretty incredible also. So there you go, man. So G.I. Joe and Transformers movie is coming. They want to build a giant cinematic Hasbro universe, and we got G.I. Joe and Transformers. We're talking Shockwave, Optimus Prime, Megatron, Bumblebee, are going to be the characters used for the Transformers. For G.I. Joe, it's going to be Cobra Commander, Stalker, Hawk, Snake Eyes, Short Fuse, Storm Shadow, and Scarlet. I absolutely love this cover, by the way. This G.I. Joe #1. This is one of those books that every collector should have. Unfortunately, I sold mine. Believe it or not, way back in the day, G.I. Joe #2 was more rare than G.I. Joe #1 because back in the day, people just bought up all the first issues. Nobody ever bought a second issue. So that's why G.I. Joe #2 is such a low print run. Pretty much the same can be said with Spawn #2 for a long, long time. Spawn #2 was seriously under ordered, so it was actually harder to find than Spawn #1. So there you go. So that's G.I. Joe #1. You got Transformers #1. Also, Transformers miniseries #4 is the first appearance of Shockwave. Also, M.A.S.K. #1 is the first appearance of Matt Tracker and M.A.S.K. So not the most earth-shattering news in the world. I'm definitely deserving of a...
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen. Cannonball!
There you go, man. So I just thought so go check out Gigosity Mag. I'll link the article in here. Hold on a second. Let me drop it in the live chat. Right there. Go check out gigositymag.com. They just dropped this scoop yesterday. Mikey asked me to run the video today with the character is going to be reserved because I told him, I was like, a lot of people are buying comics based on Star Wars and toy properties now. So if a G.I. Joe Transformers M.A.S.K. movie definitely is coming down the road, I think collectors would be interested in knowing because I think they may snatch up the comics. I just the way that I've been seeing the market going right now and people just buying up any little bit of news, even if it's not an original comic book property, they still snatch it up. So these are great books. Most of you guys already have them. Maybe the Transformers miniseries, you don't. I would definitely say M.A.S.K. you probably don't, but that's a cheap dollar bin buy. G.I. Joe #1 is probably the only pricey book on there. And I remember the G.I. Joe #1, man, you got a lot of book for your 75 cents. It was it was like a double-sized book. But shout out to everybody. Hope you guys enjoyed. So once again, there's going to be a G.I. Joe Transformers combined film with the characters from M.A.S.K. So the characters being used for Transformers are Shockwave, Optimus Prime, Megatron, and Bumblebee. First appearance of Shockwave is actually in Transformers #4. G.I. Joe characters being used are Cobra Commander, Stalker, Hawk, Snake Eyes, Short Fuse, Storm Shadow, and Scarlet. First appearance of M.A.S.K. is M.A.S.K. #1 from DC Comics. So I got to admit, this is probably the first time I've done a long-term spec list for one franchise of films and have featured DC and Marvel comics in the same long-term spec list. So also, I will be doing the drawing for the winners for the Lords of the Long Box 5,000 subs giveaway. We're going to do it this Thursday. Not during, so there's the link. Or you still enter, subscribe, and do all that good stuff to enter the giveaway. Make sure you follow the instructions. And we're going to go live on Thursday because guess what? We have another long-term spec list, and you're going to be excited about this one. This one's Star Wars related. So finally, some of those Star Wars books you may may pay off because some of the characters I've kind of looked at, I don't barely know who they are. So it'd be fun researching these characters to see if they do appear in the Marvel comics or the Dark Horse comics. So until next time, boys and girls, I will see you guys on Tuesday for the long-term spec list. Oh, over either hopefully tomorrow or Monday, I'm going to pop a video review of a great movie I saw on Netflix called Unknown Origins or Orígenes Secretos, which is a Spanish movie. It is absolutely, you just have to watch the video. I will probably post a video tomorrow, so give you time to watch this one. Until next time, boys and girls, I will see you guys live on Tuesday. So keep digging in them long boxes, and let me give you some DJ Curse on the way out the door.
Now let's do this!
Rewind, select and come again. Pull up that from the top to the very last.
Who are you to make their lives bitter in hard bondage? In this you shall know that the Lord is
Oh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Justice League. There are assembled the world's 5 greatest heroes. Their mission, to fight injustice, to right that which is wrong, and to serve all mankind.
When it comes, I won't even notice.
Oh, how so?
I'll be too busy looking good.
You can't understand.